Washington State man faces arraignment after police say he was caught red-handed in a local ATM fraud scam. We'll let you know if your bank account is in jeopardy. A traffic advisory to report if you're headed toward Longmeadow. Parts of Dwight Road are closed. Just ahead, how you can avoid getting trapped in traffic. A Run for Education, a local event raises thousands of dollars to benefit East Longmeadow schools. We take a closer look at ELEAF and why the nonprofit has become such a critical part of this town's schools. And the Spartans try to regroup after a tough loss to Central's Golden Eagles. We have highlights of the game and a look at who's on tap next for the boys in red. Those stories just ahead on ELCAT News Update. Good evening, I'm May Randall. We begin tonight with an arrest over the weekend. East Longmeadow police arrested a Washington State man early Sunday in what they're calling an ATM fraud scam. The alleged incident took place here at the TD Bank Branch ATM on North Main Street. East Longmeadow Police Sergeant Pat Manley says 33-year-old Aaron Dario is charged with placing an electronic device known as a skimmer on the ATM in order to steal customer information. He says a bank employee called the Secret Service Saturday after discovering the skimmer had been attached to the card reader that allows access into the ATM. Manley says police then set up a surveillance, and at about 4 a.m. the suspect showed up, removed the devices, and was arrested. Authorities believe the illegal device had been used in other Western Mass locations in order to steal debit card information. An investigation is underway. Police say contact your bank with any questions. Meantime, Dario faced arraignment Monday in Palmer District Court. A major construction project to report tonight. The Longmeadow DPW is paving Dwight Road for the next few days, so you may want to avoid that area if at all possible until next week. Work is already underway on Dwight from Converse Street to Franconia Golf Course. Dwight and Williams is also affected. Expect lane closures and delays. We're told much of the construction will happen between 8 p.m. and 7 a.m. in order to minimize traffic in that area. During that time, southbound traffic from Converse to Williams will be closed. Detours will take drivers down Red Fern Drive, Frank Smith Road, and Wolf Swamp Road. Longmeadow's DPW asks drivers to add a little extra time for delays or to take an alternate route. In other news tonight, a big success for this weekend's Run for Education, a fundraiser for ELEAF, or the East Longmeadow Educational Endowment Fund. Despite the gray skies and a little bit of rain at the start, dozens of runners turned out to make this annual race one of the best to date. The 5K Run Walk kicked off Saturday morning at 9 at Mayberry on Denslow Road.
I'd like to thank everybody once again for turning out for our event. We really appreciate your effort and your time and the fact that you came out on kind of a rainy day, but it turned out to be a pretty good day running.
This is one of the biggest fundraisers of the year for ELEAF. Board member Dean Dagnoli said this event and others are critical in keeping the organization running.
ELEAF is a nonprofit. It's the East Longmeadow Education Endowment Fund. It was started in 1995 to raise money for the schools of East Longmeadow, to fund projects that aren't included in the everyday budget of the schools.
He says ELEAF is doing well financially thanks to community support.
Financially, we're doing quite well. We have about $700,000 set aside. We have 3 fundraisers per year. One is the road race, one is a dinner dance, and then also a golf outing in the summertime. We raise about $50,000 to $70,000 per year, which about half of which is given back to the schools to fund projects that aren't normally in the school's budget.
Through grants, ELEAF makes it financially possible for local schools and teachers to go above and beyond what the budget allows.
So in the past, we funded iPads for K through 6, robotics program for the high school, and also stringed instruments. Every year, the teachers make grant requests. The board, fully reviews all the requests. And then we decide, which projects make the most sense and are going to give the most benefit to the schools and the children.
The Run Walk raised more than $5,000.
Overall, you should know that between our sponsors and the fees that you paid and some anonymous donations, this event has raised about $5,000 for the East Longmeadow school system.
Leaf also hosts additional fundraisers, such as last summer's annual golf tournament and an upcoming dinner dance. In sports news tonight, a tough loss for Spartan football as they face Central Friday night. Under the lights at Central, the #1 ranked Golden Eagles played host to the #2 ranked Spartans. It didn't take long for Central to strike. Just 3 minutes into the game, an interception and a 60-yard return to put the Golden Eagles up by 6. The pick was one of 2 defensive touchdowns on the night for Central. The second, when a QB sack forced a fumble by Spartan Tyler Maloney, which Central then returned for 90 yards. Second half, better for the Spartans, who were able to move the ball on the ground. Running back Mike Magipinto gained 168 yards on 34 carries, but the Spartans only found the end zone once. The final score, 32-8. They now move from the #2 slot on the Mass Live Western Mass rankings to #4. The Longmeadow Lancers take over at #2 with a 3-0 record so far in the season. The Spartans have a bye week this week. They'll be back in action Friday, October 3rd at home against Holyoke. Now on to girls varsity soccer. Their latest matchup Friday night as well at home, also against Central. An easier time for the Lady Spartans, who dominated the night. The final score, a whopping 10-1. The girls in white really spread the wealth. 7 Spartans found the net, including Kate Beluzzo with 2, Juliana Templeman also with 2, Jillian Murphy with a deuce as well. Scoring 1 apiece, Alyssa Highland, Shannon Kennedy, Alyssa Piogi, and Sydney Richardson. The Spartans next face Chicopee Comp Tuesday night at 6:30 at home. On to cross country, the Spartans hosted the annual duck races over the weekend. The annual memorial event honors Ted Duckowitz, a longtime track and cross country coach at Springfield Central High School. 14 teams competed Saturday in 6 races, with East Longmeadow Spartans making a strong showing in the girls' JV and varsity races. Caroline McKinnon and Jessica Fritz both medaling in JV. Abby Laughlin, Abby Raitt, Carolyn Serrard, Kay Laughlin, and Jocelyn Mayu taking medals in the Division I varsity girls race. For the boys, Mike Hampton took the JV race, and Spartan senior Jack Moynihan handily topping the field for the varsity, leading the Spartans to a team win. Mrs. Duckowitz was on hand to congratulate all the teams at the close of the event. Well, that will do it for us tonight. Thanks for watching ELCAT News Update. I'm May Randall. Until next time, good night.